Good morning, members, and folks who might see this later. I might turn this one public, but welcome to Anything is Possible. We're going to be filleting up some trout that we caught last night. We put them in a 5-gallon bucket, covered them with plenty of ice, so they've been in an ice slushy, holding at about 33 degrees. So we're going to fillet them, boneless, skinless, take the meat, and we're actually going to make trout patties so that my wife can cook for the kids while I'm at work tonight. So step one, I got a sharpened knife. Step one, I got to get the camera set up. Bus is going to come. We're going to get interrupted by the school bus and all that crap, but we'll do the best we can. This is real life. um, it's always a problem here with the camera. If you guys can see me, that means I probably can't see you. We'll do our best here. Let me turn this around. You'd think I would do this beforehand. It's not that I don't. Oh yeah, I won't this way. I'm too dumb to figure this out. I need to pay attention to physics class. I need to get you guys back here and down a little bit. It's one of the things I don't understand about YouTube is like you can look at the camera and you get it all set up and you hit go live. It's different. Welcome in, Anthony. I gotta pay attention because at 8 o'clock I gotta make sure my boy's getting out here on the bus. So hopefully Tammy doesn't stroll on in here and not read the full title because we're cutting fish. We went out last night, Anthony, on the member live, and Kevin and I slayed. We limited out on trout. I know you can't really see my face. That might be a good thing, but I want you to be able to see the table. We're gonna fillet trout and make trout patties. So I turned the faucet on, and the faucet is busted. So living in a 100-year-old house, every time you do anything, it's a, you know, you fix one thing and two others break. So I don't even know what part's broken on there. I just know it ain't right, and I don't have any water pressure. But we'll get through this. Now, your job, Anthony, let me know if any chunks of fish land in my coffee. I like my coffee black without fish. I can move you guys back a little bit, but I don't think I'd be able to read chat too well. I'll try. Try a little bit. Maybe you don't see my head then. Nah, still won't see my head. I can bring it up a little bit. Big Ben, what's going on, brother? You're probably getting ready for bed. We're just getting the day started. But I still got trout to do from last night. We slayed last night. Yeah, much love. Right back at you, brother. Anthony's he's up in Wisconsin, I think. Somewhere up there. Ben's over in Australia. So. I know, I sharpened way too long, I know, but I like a good sharp knife. And this thing's not really sharp, so I gotta do the best I can with keeping an edge. Wisconsin, that's right. All right. Boneless, skinless fillets. Somebody been messing with my fillet table. Man, kids always be messing with stuff. Adelaide. I didn't want to do them last night because it's getting warm this time of year. I wanted to get them on ice. I believe the meat firms up if you let them sit. So that's why I do what I do. I can't hide the guts, so I don't know what they're going to do with the video. They'll probably take it down, but boy, we are not off to a good start here. There we go, I saved it. I just remembered these heads, these are heads that are going down to the river with me. I'm sure I can visit Fishing with Steve and he'll take them for his catfishing adventures. You know, I think this guy's got scoliosis, to be honest with you. Because that ain't right there. But that's all right. We're going to be taking this meat and we're going to be cutting it up into pieces. So, all the scraps will go right in here for the river. We're going to do this systematically. I'm going to put all the fillets up here. Then I'll come back and I'll take all the ribs. I'll try to get a more efficient way of doing this. Oh, baby, they're cold. Come on, buddy. Work with me here. I'm going to show you the whole process, the ingredients. There's only one thing I don't have. I want to put like tarragon or dill in here, and I don't have that. Everything else I got in the garden. So I may add that later. I don't know. Can't really add it later. I might run to the grocery store and get theirs. Be a true anything live. Getting the kids on the bus, going to the grocery store in the middle of filming. I wonder if I can like edit that stuff out. I mean, I can do this a lot cleaner, but like I said, I don't have a lot of time. We're just getting the meat. We're not selling this stuff to some rich dude. We're just getting the meat. The only problem with icing them overnight is they get so cold, they're a little hard to handle. Look at that color. He's been eating good. Let's see if I missed any chat. Do you bleed? I usually do, Anthony, but last night I actually didn't because it was kind of crazy. Little man called a massive snake head. Yeah, that was awesome, Ben. Heck yeah, man. Wish we could have eaten it. I usually do bleed them out, but last night we were live and we were up on a bridge. It's really hard to, you know, do that behind the scenes. So yeah, we just threw them right in the bucket. But I mean, we're not. These are fish patties, so this time of year the trout, to me, don't taste as good anyway. So I think we're gonna kind of hit them with the seasoning this way. I don't know. They might taste delicious. Who knows? But yeah, typically, my preferred thing to do is bleed them out and throw them right on ice. Forgo the stringer. But last night was a stringer and bucket type of day, so that's what we did. But yeah, I don't know any fish that, you know, shouldn't be bled. They all taste better bled out, in my opinion. It's also highly illegal in where we were. Not that anyone follows the law, but so there's always that in the back of your mind. Like if I bleed it out and the game warden walks up to you, technically you're not allowed to do that. Which is funny because I'm going 4 miles downriver today and putting a 8/0 hook in some of these carcasses and sending them right back out anyway. Rid of the intestine hanging off the fillet. Pile the meat on top, it kind of keeps it cold. It's kind of chilly out. It's probably only 60 degrees if that, so I'm not too worried today. And they're cold. They're started really cold. They're sitting on ice all night, and an ice slurry, probably about 33 degrees. If I don't have a probe here, but just from working with seafood, I could. There's a claw. He's been eating crayfish. I could guarantee you he's in the low 30s temp-wise. It's funny, a lot of the videos you see on YouTube of guys filleting fish, they're already gutted too, which is kind of how you get your fish from, like, you know, when you order fish. But to me, it's just an extra step. Like, why would you gut the fish? Why would you gut the fish to fillet the fish? And it's definitely a little different too. Filleting a fish that's been gutted versus not. I think it's easier to fillet a fish that has not been gutted. There's a good one. There's a real nice rainbow right there. You check on chat. When I say I'm going to check on chat, the real reason is I got to warm up my fingers. I bleed them, keeping the live run. Yeah, if you got a live well, that's perfect. Absolutely. Let the water go through and let them pump. Nice, Anthony. I'm always trying to do like what's right for the fish. So like, technically what I usually do, I forget what it's called. I think it's an Asian practice. You put a hole right behind their eye. With like, I usually use like a screwdriver. You don't want like a pin. It's got to have a little something to it. Put that through it. That's supposed to kill them immediately and then bleed them, and their heart's supposed to still be pumping. I don't know. It depends on my mood, to be honest with you, because I am procuring food for my family. So, but I do try to do it ethically, and the older I get, I think, like, the more I think about the animals, to be honest with you. Like using frogs for bait, you know, as a kid, oh man, if I could catch it, it was going on the hook. Now I'm like, do I really need to catch a bass that I'm going to let go anyway? I don't know. You get soft when you get old, I guess. I don't know. I'll get this all filleted out, then I'll rinse them all off, and then I'll be working with clean fillets. And I'll take the ribs out, and I'll take the pin bones out. And at that point, you know, all we really have to do is cut them into smaller pieces. Yeah, right here, some of these fish have this little thing going on here. Right here on a lot of stockies, I've noticed this year, there's like, I don't want to say a bone mass, but there's something there. Any scientists in here, they might be able to tell me what's going on there, but it's like they're trying to evolve into a leg or something sticking out of their back. Nasty. Give that a little rinse here. Somebody told me that this spot was filled with browns. I'm like, I haven't caught a brown there yet. I don't think the guy knows the difference. Yeah, we're still catching stockies into June. It's pretty crazy. They're usually dead by now. Awesome. Awesome. Warm up my hand. Now I gotta look at the time too. My kid will love to use this opportunity to miss the school bus. 7:43. Time for a sharpening. You know, Anthony, you know Tammy's going to show up. I can see it now. Read the description, Tammy. At the fillet table. I should have tagged her and said, don't come in. meat is definitely firm, so I don't know if it just was firm or the ice bath helped. Ooh, baby. Oh. Dump some of this ice water here. Got another one hiding in there, another one hiding in there. Good Lord. Kind of slow today, I guess. Woo, baby. It's cold. We'll cook all the patties today, and then I will vacuum seal any extras and freeze them cooked. This recipe is more like you don't put it on bread. You can, but this is a pretty beefy patty. It's almost like the anal fin and that back fin right there is kind of like meeting. The bones are kind of growing into each other. Whereas a wild trout, they're definitely separate. Plenty of meat between the two. Get that sharpener real quick. That's the aerator in the back. We got a lot of live bait back here. We're going to be doing some flathead fishing later today on the public live, as well as some musky fishing coming up. So getting baited up. In fact, last night we went for white suckers, but the trout were biting, so turned into a food procuring mission. I can't say that word, procuring. Procuring. I'm turning it into parkour. Procuring. I'm only half awake. I haven't had my coffee yet. That's like handling a knife before your coffee. Finally, we got some hot weather coming, so these trout, their days are numbered in this body of water. They're not going to live long. So, definitely a good time to harvest. Some of these fish have been hanging out since April, March even, so you know, they've lived a few months out there, and these guys have really been healthy due to all the rain and the cold. But what's going to start happening is they're going to start getting skinny, and the water's going to warm up. They're going to stop feeding, and they're going to become snapping turtle food is what they're going to become. Everybody who thinks around here like, oh, just let them hold over. I'd love to see where those people go in July, because if they go back to that stream in July, it's dead city, man. Everything's dead. Things damn near dried up. And the cleanest these trout are the day they're stocked. These places that control the stockings, they're sometimes criticized, but I guarantee you the water in those plants is cleaner than the creek water. Guarantee it, at least in my area. So the more they sit in that water, yeah, they might be eating real food. The color might look better, but we're picking up more contamination too. That's just my opinion. Somebody with a scientist's wife. She agrees with that. Oops, screwed that up. It's all right. We don't want the belly meat anyway. Should have called this ASMR live. Trout fillet and ASMR, Anthony. Cat and Jack's live. If you want a true ASMR without the blood. I should have put a bucket under there to catch all the scraps. And taking that down for like chum. That'd have been great. Someday I'll figure this all out. Get a system. Immature egg sacs. I wonder how some of those immature egg sacs would be. Just take them and fry them. I should try that someday. All right, we got the skin off them all. Now we got to get the ribs and the pin bones. Check chat before I start. Get another cup of coffee. Check the time. 7:52. $85. Yeah, that would be cool. Have the Anyfin logo. One of our subs, an older lady who is a big fan of ours, got us this. She doesn't like to comment on YouTube. She doesn't like to but she's always watching. She bought us this. She's got us a hose system for this fillet table. Cut gloves, which I don't like cut gloves. I got to wear them at work, but I hate cut gloves. I was brought up filleting, so I go by feel a lot. Alright, so I got the ribs out and I'm just feeling. And I'm going to be a little bigger on taking those pin bones out. Because what I'm going to do right here is, right now that's typically my fillet. Right? But I'm going to cut into pieces right now. Because with these fish patties, you want chunks. So I might as well just do that. I might as well chunk it right now. We'll rinse it in the strainer one more time when we get in. But we're going to turn them into pieces about that. About the size of a quarter, I'd say. I like them big. I like chunks. They're going to cook down anyway. So instead of trying to take the bones out, what I'm really doing is like taking the loin, taking the belly. And I know the bones are in the middle. Cut right across if you want. Take that bone section out. That's turtle food for us. We got a bunch of turtles as pets. one less cutting board. That way I can just rinse these under the clean water inside and they're good to go. This is a 10 trout, which is our limit here in Pennsylvania. Just have to be aware of what piece you're throwing in the bucket and which piece you're throwing in the scraps. Tell I missed the pin bones there. See all those pin bones sticking out? So I just got to cut a little bit further there. Out they go. Patties are good for somebody who might not have their confidence in filleting as well. You know what I mean? You're going to cut it into little pieces. You're going to find those bones. If you missed them, you're going to find them while you're cutting it into little pieces. And if you do end up still missing one, they're little pieces. You're not going to notice it so much. Especially when you hit this thing in the fryer. These will be fried patties. Probably should just do this with like 3 trout for video purposes. It's crazy doing 10 of them. But it's like a competition this time of year. If you can limit out around here this time of year, that's pretty awesome. It's rare. A lot tougher catching these guys this time of year. We spent a lot of time messing around with them trying to figure them out. We ended up, I'll have to do another video on this. We ended up coming up with a dough ball we invented last night. And we were catching these guys on midge hooks, which we're going to actually, Kev's going to start tying his own up so that they hold our pack bait recipe. And then to the pack bait recipe, we added a little bit of oats, but not just regular oats, the oats that are the bedding to our mealworms. So mealworms, when they live in that oats, there becomes all this like powder in there. Well, that powder hardened up the outside of our pack bait perfectly. I don't know if it did anything else as far as flavor, but it worked perfect. So I mean, we just discovered it last night, and we'll definitely be using this recipe instead of power bait from now on. It'll save us a lot of money, and it worked awesome. Damn, I need more coffee. I missed it again. After saying, look, this is what happens, you get sloppy. I'm like, it doesn't matter, you can cut it real wide. Now I'm messing up more than when I cut it narrow. Where are you? I know I'm running out of time before the bus comes. Comes a little after 8, but I got to get him moving at 8 o'clock, so he's out here on time. See where we are. Trout fillets in the freezer. This is a good way to test it out. They're going to make good. Make salmon patties, cracked onions, celery, egg. Yep, pretty much what we're doing here. A lot of herbs from the garden, but same idea. Nothing crazy. 8 o'clock. Let me get him rolling here. I'll be right out. What's up, pretty boy? We're at 8 o'clock. Alright, at least he's awake. It's half the battle. Sometimes I go back and he's still asleep. He'll eat breakfast and still go back to bed sometimes. He's only got like 3 days of school left. They're burned out. And school is just, at this point, unless you're like a real popular kid, and Kevin is pretty popular, but he still doesn't like being there. It's such a waste of time. Signing yearbooks, all this stupid crap. They're done learning. I mean, they already got the graduation stuff ready to go. Are they going to say you can't graduate? I'm the same way. I hated that time of year. Everybody else loved it. I was like, it's such a waste. Why are we here? Such a waste. Just that collarbone. Now they're getting soft. Getting soft now. When they get soft, put my thumb here so I don't rip out that meat. Like, it doesn't really matter for this recipe because we're breaking it into pieces, but if you're doing like a fillet that you're gonna, bake, you want it to look nice, just put your finger there. I guess that's frowned upon when you're trying to be all cool and cut fish real fast, but in my industry where we're cutting fish for rich folks, it's all about presentation. If you want to make it look pretty, you better take that extra step where you just, some of our fish is like 50 bucks a pound. Our Copper River sockeye was $44 a pound 2 weeks ago. Now it's 22 a pound. Yeah, when it gets soft, you start losing the belly meat. It pulls away from it. It doesn't hold together. That's the first sign. You can feel it though if you're, But icing it does help. Or this would have been a mushy mess.
I forgot what I don't really remember what I
live, just so you don't say anything incriminating. But go ahead.
don't remember what I need for field day. She said bring a drawstring bag to carry. And then she said sunscreen and a water bottle. I'm not gonna bring sunscreen.
You need to.
Do I?
Yes.
Oh, I might miss my bus.
You don't have to put it on. Just grab it and throw it in your bag.
I can't take my bag though because we go right out.
What? Oh, we gotta put suntan lotion on. Where do you need to get?
My arms and legs.
I don't really want to get this on there. Little SPF 50 on my trout. Perfect. Can't be too careful. SPF 50. Probably be like, man, these trout have an interesting flavor. It's my secret ingredient.
Oh, goodness.
They'll withstand the 500-degree oven because they've got suntan lotion on. Yo, Skeeter's in the house. What's going on, brother? Flathead tonight, good luck. Tim's in. What's going on, Tim? Jamie, welcome, welcome. Just doing a trout patties live, but kind of at a break, getting Kev on the bus right now, and then we'll pick it right back up. Talk amongst yourselves.
I want to bring this down.
What's in the bag?
Sucks from the water bottles. Wait for sunscreen back. Need it? It's a 9:50 to
Well, they're gonna not let you graduate if you don't have your sunscreen tube with you. It's not like they're not gonna have 50 tubes. Why does every kid bring their own? Why doesn't the teacher just have one big one?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Because she's probably going to go quick right in the eyes. Okay, now cover your eye. Shh. 1 second. Oh, hold on.
That got it all cut in little pieces. Let's say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody in chat. And I'm done for the day.
Should have emptied the ice. What time is it?
The one thing
I'm gonna keep cutting if that's all right with you.
So one thing our teacher always says to us, she always tells us something everything we gotta remember. Like the only things I remember to bring to field day is my water bottle and sunscreen. But I bet one of my friends are probably gonna have sunscreen there.
Yeah, well, what if they're thinking the same thing and you don't have it? And, I'm sure somebody will have it.
Anyways, I thought there was 3 more things to bring. She doesn't tell us to write them down. She just says you got to remember it.
Well,
Oh, that's a good fillet. That looks nice.
Yeah, it does. That was the big one.
That was the big one?
Mm-hmm.
The one that threw up that one?
Okay, buddy, yes.
I knew it. That was so disgusting. It wasn't even a real one, too. It was a fake plastic bass one.
I was telling the members about our secret concoction that we invented last night.
You told them?
A little bit. Not all of it, but, keep a couple secrets.
Me and Mom are probably going to do what me and you did yesterday. I think me and Mom...
Doesn't Lyle have something tonight?
Oh, yeah. My bad. I mean, tomorrow... You're working tomorrow, too, right?
Nope. Tomorrow's beer run.
Tomorrow's beer run. So me and Mom are probably going to, probably do what we did last night. Go on a run right after dinner, and then go fishing there.
Yep. Almost done for the year, so and you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
Fish patties, you're going to just cut them into pieces. I already took the skin off. Now we're coming back. We're taking the ribs out, and we're taking the pin bones out. That's what we're doing. And chunking it at the same time. We'll go in and rinse it out after this when Kev gets on the bus. And we'll get these patties whipped up. And then I can talk to you guys in chat a little bit more and we get a better camera spot.
The craziest thing had to be when we threw a handful of pack meat in. How did you see how much they were eating that stuff?
Nuts.
What we need is a size 32 hook.
We had a feeding frenzy going.
It looked just like you're throwing pellets in for the stocked trout in the enclosures. That's what it looked like when we threw a handful of that stuff in. We're going nuts for it. That big snapping turtle was eating the oats. He was eating one by one.
Yeah, there was a huge snapper there last night.
Not huge.
He was so hungry. He was sitting there eating the little pieces of oatmeal that
He
was
ate like 400 pieces, Dad.
in with their mealworms.
He had accuracy because he was aiming, dude.
He'll be
He was
fine.
getting
As soon as these trout start dying off, he's going to be eating well.
I might overeat. Dude, that looks so good.
Let's see if I missed anything in chat. I'm just sitting there.
Okay. What's up, chat? Nope. Just Anthony was up is the only thing I see. He said
ASMR fish fillet.
with the aerator running.
Aerator in the back for your ASMR pleasure. Like Tim the Toolman Taylor, ASMR. More power. Trying to keep them quarter size or less.
What is that? What is that?
That one's definitely mushy. Is that you? No, wrong way.
Wrong way, butter boy.
Wrong way. Ah, I got some skin on that one. That's what's going on. Missed a piece of skin. If I had more time, I would have gotten the food grinder out. I've never ground fish through it, but I was thinking of using the meat grinder. I don't know how that would be with fish. Just thought it would blend everything up really nice.
That's a caterpillar.
Yeah, get rid of those caterpillars.
I only got one. It's going in the wheelbarrow.
As soon as you guys are out of school, I'll give you a penny per caterpillar. Go through the apple trees. Yep.
Oh, a penny. I thought you said $1. I was like,
Nope. Penny per caterpillar.
I'm not getting 100 yet. I'm not gonna collect 100 just for $1.
Well, if you were smart, you would know how to do it. Take that nest out of it. Put it in an aquarium. Raise them into adults and then sell them by bulk. Figure out how much one weighs, multiply it, and then you'll know how much you have.
Give me $5 for a whole nest, and then I'll do it. $5 per nest.
Nests are easy. You got to get the free agents.
The nests aren't hard. They're all gross when you touch them. You're touching all their webs or whatever that stuff is. Those cues look so good.
I kind of want to do ceviche with those.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It looks like ceviche.
That's when I came out here. That's what I thought you were doing.
Trout ceviche.
Trout ceviche.
Maybe in the winter we'll try that.
Because winter kills off a lot of.
Yeah, this is not the time of year to mess around with trout.
Boss that.
Boss, all right, buddy. Have a good day. See you later. Have fun. Hello, boys and girls. Missed the bone right there. Look at that. Off he goes. Okay, just gonna finish these up. Almost done. Just cutting them into strips like you would any other vegetable or anything that you're going to cut in, cubes that are about the same size. That's the whole idea here. Of course, these are slimy, a little trickier, but same idea. We live on a real quiet road, but this time of day, it's like a highway. People take it as a shortcut. Everybody's trying to get away from Main Street. Man, they drive all the way up over this mountain just to avoid Main Street. Crazy. I'll take this in next, I'll rinse it off, and then I'll lay it on like a baking sheet. It's not necessary, but why I'm going to do that is I'm going to sit it in the fridge to kind of dry a little bit, get some of that moisture off of it. That's the only problem with cutting it first. Now it's really hard to pat dry. So it might be a better idea to do the whole fillet, pat them dry, then cut them up. But live and learn. We are done that step. Take you guys inside, but that's what we got, a big bowl of chopped trout meat. Let me unplug you all here. You guys have like 3 cords coming out of you. Tried to keep this phone on 100%. Apron off here. Chickens are staring at me. I'll feed you. Angry chickens. It's like they've never been fed. Look at those guys down there. They've got food. It's cool. Don't mind the messy house. Tigers, get in. No, you ain't going back outside. You're not a stray cat anymore, buddy. You're not a stray cat anymore. You gotta stay in the house. You'll get eaten. Okay. Let's rinse this all out first. It's kind of cloudy. I don't know if the screen looks all right to you guys. It's cloudy to me. Yo, $2 from Mr. Skeeter. The sound is off, by the way. Earbuds are charging. There's Tammy. I was wondering when Tammy was going to come in. I put fillet table in the description. But now you've made it this far. If you're still here, it's now just like something you'd buy in cellophane from the store. Like, I did the dishes this morning. Already a pile of dishes. How? Where'd those dishes come from? Ridiculous. So just straining them here. Just running water on them and kind of moving them around. And I'll pick them up. I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them on a baking sheet with a paper towel. Actually, I'm going to use I'm going to use a regular towel, but with paper towels. Maybe we don't have paper towels. We're going to use a regular towel. Now my turn to do the laundry. I don't care. Paper towels with these little pieces I think would be a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to do this. I'll put the red one down last so it's easy to see. Making sure they're all clean. Get as much of the moisture out as I can. And lay them out on the tray. I don't know how absolutely necessary this is. This is one of those things like I feel like everybody does. So I just do it. I know it's very important when you're smoking trout because you want that, was it a pelican or pelica? You want the outside to be dry so it absorbs the smoke better and it smokes consistently. So. And you don't want to mush it together with this recipe. You actually want chunks of meat in the cake. This isn't mush cake. Okay, so and try to get as much off of it as you can right away. And then I'm just going to sit this in the fridge while we go out and pick some herbs for that's the only ingredient I need to get yet is from the garden. So we'll do that while this is sitting in the fridge. The refrigerator not only will keep it cold, but it'll also help firm it up and dry it out. When I smoke our trout, I will put them in I'll put them in there for 3 hours, usually at least 3 hours to dry them out a little bit. I mean, you could do the fan, but I got too much stuff going on. I usually can't watch them. You know, you got flies, you got all kinds of bugs. So I just throw them in the fridge. Let's go pick some herbs. Cheers, I appreciate that, $2, buddy. I do. It all adds up, man. Every bit counts. Tripod's such a pain in the butt to move anywhere. There's Lyle's e-bike. I'm gonna kidnap that thing. Alright, so I mean, herbs is literally, we're just walking around the garden. We're just gonna walk around the garden and pick out what we got here. Some rosemary right there. Sage. Some thyme over there. We got parsley out front. Let's go over there. It's a fun time in the morning. Everybody will be driving by like, what the hell's this guy doing in his yard with a phone? They're weird around here. Dude, your campsite has a lot of work to do. We got a lot of work to do on your campsite, brother. We got some major damage from that storm. All right, we're going to get some parsley out of here. So let me show you what we got going on here. So we literally eat out of this garden to like this is broccoli. So we eat all the kale right here so the broccoli gets the light. Same thing with the red pepper and the bib lettuce. More kale. But we got parsley there, garlic, onion. So we literally like pick. We like eat. We eat to allow space for everything to keep growing. It's kind of like a permaculture thing. We got a little bit of cilantro hiding over there too. I'm gonna grab. Let's see. I've got chives already inside. Pick those. Our potatoes are coming in nicely over there. Forget what I have out front. I'm gonna pick a little bit of cilantro. It's only me and Kevin that like cilantro, but I don't tell Kristen what's in there. My basil doesn't look too hot. Throw a little bit in. Just have to get, oh, oregano. We got oregano out front. Let me grab that. Apple trees are I'm starting to prune the apple trees now that they're 5 years old. The asparagus we've let go now. Our asparagus season is over. We gotta let it grow, get all bushy, so that we have more asparagus next year. We're trying to spread this asparagus out through this whole area. One of the projects I didn't quite get done, but it's a work in process. We got a lot of native plants out here that we grow, echinacea and stuff like that, coneflower. But this here is oregano. So try to get a nice long peak so it's easy to deal with. That's all the herbs we need. Let's go in and chop those up. But yeah, this is echinacea, coneflower. Easy to grow, one of the best plants to grow. We got mint out here, but echinacea is super good for you when you're feeling sick. We'll come out and make tea from that all the time. I'll tell you guys, like, oh, I'm getting sick, and then but I'm not sick. All I need is a couple cups of that and a day off and rest, and I feel good to go. My chat's not coming up, so I have to keep touching the screen, so I'm sorry if I'm missing anything. Got a lemon tree going now. Hammer time, what's up? What's up? We got some live bait in here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Bye, buddy. All right, let's get back in. Get back into the kitchen here. I know I'm going to be late popping up. It's not that I don't care, but I don't care. Catch and release today. As much as I'd like to go through catch and release, the important part is I get dinner ready for tonight. So got like a spider hanging off my screen. What's going on, Larry? What is going on, my friend? Heck was that? Alrighty. So what I'm gonna do? Put all the herbs in a mixing bowl. Wash my hands. You're on an angle, get you straight. Just woke up, getting ready for work. All right. Hope work is tolerable. Stupid tripod, it's all busted. Can't do anything about the light, it's so bright. Maybe I can offset it. The sun's coming in the back window here. Oregano. Whenever possible, I like to use real fresh herbs. I don't like dry herbs. I think they have no flavor. And I usually just shake my stuff. I don't wash it. We don't spray nothing on it. So it's all good. It's all good to go. Just shake it. I look at it, but right now I know we have hardly any bugs, knock on wood. I know they'll come, but right now we're in good shape. Rosemary. I could cut those up, but these are so young and tender, I don't really even have to cut them up. They're going to be fine that way. Thyme is a pain in the butt. Unless you have like really mature thyme plants, it's a really pain in the butt to get the leaves off. When they're more mature, you can just grab them and slide your finger down them, but when they're not, that's what happens. But most of it is super tender, but the bottom of the stalk's hard. You want to get rid of that. More oregano. All the stalks, everything will go into the back. There's what looks like trash is actually our like compost back there, and that goes out to the chickens. That's why I didn't feed the chickens. They're barking at me out there, but I'm not feeding them because they're going to get all this when I'm done. They're just impatient. Sage. We hear you, chickens. I also feel like spices count as a vegetable. I don't know if that's factual or not, but I feel like it does. Hey, Lumi, good morning. Jimmy's in. What's up, Jimmy? Good morning. Everybody's out of here. Kids just got on the bus. Kristen's at work. So I'm just trying to get trout patties done. I just filleted 10 trout at the table. I'm getting patties all ready, so all she's got to do tonight when I'm at work is drop them in oil. I'll post the recipe on the description of this video once it's done. Some more sage. That actually is my basil. I want to cut that up real tiny there. That's powerful stuff. As is the cilantro. Good enough, good enough. Okay. Get a knife. See, I don't know what to tell you about amounts and everything. I mean, I guess I need to start weighing stuff. Because I don't know how much trout meat that is, a poundage. You can guess, but it's all relative. So you just have to like cook, screw up a couple times and get an idea of what you're doing. My cutting board sucks, so I have to like saw this off. The problem with my job is we have the most awesome equipment, and then you come home to this crap. Brad is still asleep. Wake up, Brad. What the heck? Big night last night. Yeah, so I'll list all the ingredients. It's basically just a bunch of herbs. But I'll list the ones that I use, and they are pretty much the ones that generally are used. This is the type of patty that you don't need a bun for, Lumi. It's like going to be a big, hearty patty. But you could definitely put them on bread. Some tartar sauce would be awesome. We go light on the onions. I use more of these green onions than I will the regular onions, but if your family likes onions, don't skip on these. It's adds such an awesome texture. You want to mince them up as small as you can, but man, the texture it gives off is awesome. But Unfortunately, it's just me and Kev that really like onions, so I still cook with them. They don't really know they're in there. I don't know if this is allowed in the cooking world, but it's so much easier. Just use the scissors. These are my garden shears, even though they used to be like office shears. They are now garden shears. Not bad. I missed one. Got it. Onion. It's going to be depressing how little onion I put in this. So I'm trying to hide it, so I'm going to try to cut it as small as I can. Hey, Jenny's in. Welcome in, Jenny. Good morning. So you could use cod for this. Oh, yeah. You could use almost any fish. Cod would be awesome. Yeah. Fresh herb. Yeah, fresh herbs is the way to go with a garden, in my opinion. Especially like the perennials, you know? Trying to cut them real thin. Because we got a lot of anti-onion people in this house. Sad, but can't get rid of them. Probably use like a food processor for this part. I'm trying to just get them, you know, hide. I'm trying to hide them basically in the recipe, so I'm just breaking them down as small as I can get them. You don't have to do this. I prefer to keep them a little chunkier, but the important part is you get all that flavor, all that juice from it. All right, I think we're ready to start mixing this. Get a big bowl out. Get the trout out of here. So we've dried the trout off the best we could, cut it into pieces, and it's boneless, skinless, of course. We'll throw that in here. My cat's gonna love sniffing these towels the rest of the day while they wait in the laundry pile. I might need to rinse these outside first, I don't know. Just be careful if you do paper towels, because the paper towels stick to the meat, especially when you have it cubed like that. Like I was saying, it'd probably make more sense for you guys to just have the whole fillet, make the whole trout fillet, boneless, skinless, and pat them dry, and then cut them up. But I'm stupid, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to save a step. I'm not going to worry about having another cutting board to clean. Well, I was thinking of filming because this is my cutting board. Then I'd have to wash it, and then so. Learn from my mistakes. Some herbs are going in. So at this point, it's almost just like ceviche, this mix right now. That's, just the meat and the herbs. I think I've got a couple other things in the fridge I wanted to throw in. Yeah. 3 cold ingredients that I add. Mayonnaise, golden mustard. Thank God Brad's still asleep, because look what my wife bought. And Worcestershire, but we make our own because we're gluten-free. It's like gangster. I just use probably 2 teaspoons of this. But, you guys think I know what I'm doing, but I really don't. I just kind of go with it. I guess I've cooked a long time, but I still don't know what I'm doing. This Worcestershire recipe is, I believe, on our cooking playlist. You can buy it, obviously. This is just a way to make it gluten-free. It's not as good as any Worcestershire sauce. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh man, it's just better. It's just not. Gluten-free is just a sad place to be. So that's that. Definitely need to salt it up. Probably plenty of salt there. Some mustard going in there. Probably like 2 tablespoons of mustard. I like mustard. I like a lot of mustard. I go by like looks. I just want everything to get like coated. That's what I'm looking for. So once it's coated, I'm going to start adding. So basically the mayo and the breadcrumbs are going to be what makes this into a patty. So let me get some counter space here. Should have melted some butter in there too, but I won't bother. I won't go crazy. Keep it simple. I do have a recipe somewhere, so I will post an actual recipe with the weight and measures. So if you're one of those people, you have all the actual measurements. I haven't made this, in full disclosure, in probably 3 years. Again, gluten-free, but any breadcrumbs. This has a little bit of cheese in it, which I really like. This is one of my favorites. It's 4C crumbs. Every time you make them, they fall apart. Make sure they set up. They do tend to fall apart, but make sure you let them set up in the fridge for like at least 3-4 hours. Jenny likes the mayo and the mustard. Yeah, so that's like the same, for me, it's the same flavor, like the deviled egg. That's what you're looking for. That's what I'm looking for from the mayo mustard combo. I know it's going to be at least 2 cups. So these breadcrumbs, the breadcrumbs take a while to absorb that moisture. So if they haven't absorbed that moisture, you're not going to have a good cake. So it really takes time for that to come together. We're also going to put 2 eggs in. That's the other thing. I almost forgot the eggs. That's the other binding agent. Definitely going to need more breadcrumbs. Let me get the eggs in there. So I did these a couple weeks ago, right? We had 6 quarts of these. We're down to 2 already. Kids are devouring the pickled eggs. We're going to need at least 3. But yeah, I have a recipe that I'll put in there. It'll make sure that everything comes out right for you. At least another cup of the breadcrumbs. Like, I've done the recipe enough times, I know I don't like too much breadcrumbs, so I know what I'm looking for, and I'm basically looking to get away with the least amount of breadcrumbs as possible. A lot of those recipes are like all breadcrumbs. I'm just not into it. Take another cup and then we're going to be where we need to be. Well, that's going to be about it anyway, isn't it? So, 4 cups is right, because I think it's 2 cups for 2 pounds of trout, I think is the actual recipe. So that's about right on. It's starting to kind of be hard to turn, like when you're making bread, you know, so you know you're getting close. So that's what it's looking like right now. We're about ready to make some patties out of that. Clean up while that sets up a minute here. Figure out where I'm going to actually put all this stuff. I love pickle food, German food, cabbage rolls. Yeah, I got to get more into that stuff. I'm definitely doing more pickling and stuff lately. Yeah. This tripod is crap. I'm in the market for a new tripod. It's a great tripod, but I just destroyed it. So I need another baking sheet. I'll use this one actually. See if we have parchment paper. I feel like parchment paper is the right thing to use here, but I don't know. I don't want it to stick. I think parchment paper might be smart. I'm not quite sure what you do with parchment paper, but it seems like something that would be required in this situation. I'm telling you, 100-year-old kitchen, you don't have enough room. You're going to fry this in oil if I skip that step. You know, you're gonna. That's the way I do it. I'm sure you could bake it also, but I like to crisp the outside of it up. Get rid of the eggs. Just get rid of the mayo, the mustard. Create some space. See what we're dealing with here. I mean, I'm taking it by my hand, like softball, baseball size is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it a little rounded in the middle, I think. Like that. So the recipe should call for a handful. A handful is going to be your size. Actually, smush a little bit here. I'm going to run out of room real quick. And I'm kind of cupping my hand a little bit and then kind of pushing it down. It's holding together pretty nicely already, but I think as it sits, it's going to bind up. So I'm going to let it sit. It's going to sit till dinner time, so that should help. I don't think you want to press too much either. So I don't think you want to put it in like a press. I don't think that would work. What's up, Tim? Found the volume button? He's probably like, I gotta tell this guy he's doing it wrong. A little bit more. Probably would be a good idea to cut the herbs up even smaller, but I like like chunks. I don't like things too smooth. Like to know you're actually eating something. I always feel like I'm the grossest human when I'm cooking, just bare hands all in there. I think like today everybody would have like rubber gloves on, right? I do at work, obviously, but I don't know. Do people wear rubber gloves when they're cooking for their family? Is that a thing now? I never saw my parents in there with rubber gloves on. Probably get poisoned by the latex, I would think. My kids don't live at home anymore. I don't have to hide the herbs. Yeah. It's funny like that, hiding that stuff. And it's funny, like I know they'll like it if I put it in there. And like if when I do what they want, I leave them out. They're just like, it was okay. When I make something, they're like, oh man, that was so good. I'm like, yeah, because the first step I usually do is I put oil in there, or bacon if I have it, and then I'll slice up celery. I should have put celery in, but my kid ate it all. You can see the stalk back here. He ate the whole thing of celery last night. I'll do celery. I'll do carrots, like a shepherd's pie is a good example. I do a little bit of bacon, and then I throw in the celery, onions, and carrots, and I cook them like 10 minutes before I add the meat, and then I cook them with the meat, and then I make mashed potatoes and put them on top. And they love them. They're like, oh, it's so good. I'm like, yeah. It's 3 ingredients you hate. All that flavor. I think we can make it fit. Just 3 small ones, maybe. Maybe we'll do 2 big ones. 2 big ones. I'm going to ask my wife to get some footage of these boiling. We'll see how, or frying. We'll see how much they break apart and how much they hold. Let me wash my hands. How late are we? 9 o'clock already. It's definitely going to be late. I'm going to cook them. I'm going to fry these up. We're going to make them tonight. So my wife's going to fry these. And she's going to fry all of them. And then whatever we don't eat, I'm going to vacuum seal those. And you can heat them back up. Just want to do it like gently. Because overheating it'll make it taste not great. So I would say like 350, 10, 15 minutes in the oven. So these are really, like, that's what they look like. These are made for, I'm going to spill them all on the floor. Like, I prefer to eat these just like this. Fry them up, put them right on the plate, you know, with a side dish. You can put them on a burger patty if you want, but they already got breadcrumbs in there. So, you know, I don't like a lot of bread. So, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to wrap them up and throw them in the fridge. That's pretty much it. I'll shut this thing down, I guess. There's nothing else I can do right now. Charge up the phone. I like to add like dill. I don't have any dill. I would say put dill in it if you have it. If you have tarragon, that would be good in there. A little bit of kick to it. But other than that, if you want to add anything else, you can. But I'll put when I make this public, I'll put in the description, I'll put the actual full recipe. If I know I got it somewhere, I'll find it and put it in there before I make it public. So when you see it go public, that'll be your cue if you wanted to see the recipe. It'll be in the description by then. But let me get this wrapped in the fridge, clean up, and then I need to get to the store, get pack bait, and get down to the river, and we'll go public, hopefully around 10. We might be a little late, and we'll see if we can catch anything today. Yeah, I don't know if it's better to like freeze them first or fry them then freeze them. I'm kind of thinking you'd want to fry them then freeze them. I think if you were to wrap them, they'll fall apart later because I don't think the freezing would be good raw. I think you want to cook them first. But I'm going to shut this thing down. Thanks for watching. Hope you all have a great day. We'll catch you on the water in 1 hour. Woo boy.